Alright guys, this is Budget EDCer here, and this is going to be my review of the Buck 180 CrossLock. These knives have been discontinued for a while and replaced with an updated model. Don't know what it's called, don't know what year they stopped making these. I bought this when I was first getting into knives at I think a lost and found baggage store that buys a bunch of old stuff and old luggage from airports and stuff, or confiscated items and such, which a pocket knife would be at an airport. And I saw the name Buck, and as a lot of newer knife guys do, thought, hey, Buck is a popular knife brand, they must make good knives. And for the most part, I suppose I was right, but I don't know so much about this knife. The reason they call it a crosslock is it has the main blade, which come in a lot of varieties. This happens to be the partially serrated version. And on the back side, it's got what looks to be a thick flathead screwdriver with a gut hook for hunting. If you can hear that, that's the knife rubbing the sides of it. This is a liner lock, and if you look at it, the liners are extremely thin, and the lockup is very, very late. I don't remember if it was like that when I first got this knife, because I was so new to knives that I didn't really know that that was a thing to look for. So that could be from me using it, or that could be how it was when I bought it. Not entirely sure. Don't really care. Don't ever plan to use this knife again. May end up selling it or trading it. It may just sit in my knife drawer for the rest of its life, because I don't like it that much. Something you might notice is the overall look just says cheap Chinese flea market knife. I'm not saying that's what it is, because it's definitely not. This is an American-made knife. It's a buck knife, and it's a decent knife for what it is, but this looks like those cheap knives that you can get that say like Alabama across them or Tennessee for the sports teams. It just looks cheap, and if you flip it over, the pocket clip doesn't help its case. It's just a big cylindrical piece of steel that hangs onto your pocket. It leaves a good inch of knife sticking out of your pocket, and it looks ridiculous with that giant pin holding it in there. I don't know if you could tell this earlier, but the blade is quite a bit smaller than the handle. Can't actually get them both in shot at the same time, but I think you can get the picture from that. And the thumb studs, they're adequate. It just says Buck USA on this one, so I have no way of knowing what year this was manufactured, because it does not have the Buck dating system mark on it. Another thing I don't like about this knife is that the pivot screw isn't a flathead. It's not a Torx bit. It's not something you have. It's a proprietary system. That means Buck manufactures the tools to adjust this. I don't have them. I can't get them to the best of my knowledge, and I would have to make a tool. I don't care that much. I don't like this knife that much, and I will never do anything of the sort to this knife. I've considered sending this back to the Buck factory to be refurbished because of how far the liners are coming over, and I'm afraid it might close up on my hand if I ever have to use it again. But as I said, don't care enough. I'm not going to hold on to it for that long, most likely. If any of you guys want it, shoot me a message. We might work out a trade. You guys might want to buy it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the placement for the lanyard hole. I don't see a reason for putting a lanyard on this, because the handle itself is so long, and I really only see lanyards as being useful on a tip-up carry knife. Buck has gotten a lot better about their knives over the years. They had a period where all of their knives were really, really high quality. Periods that consisted of like the 112, the 110, the Duke, stuff like that. Then, I think in the 90s when this was produced, they took a dive for a second and started producing monstrosities like you see before you. Cannot stand it, cannot stand the way it looks. Like I said, bought it sheerly because it's a Buck, and regret it now because of that. Buck now makes a lot more visually attractive and useful knives, like this Buck Vantage Select right here. I would take that any day of the week over the knife you see before you. It's just not what I would call a good knife. And because of that, I really don't have much more to say about it. The handle's plastic. It's got a rubber inlay that you see right there. No idea what the steel is. Gonna say some variety of 440C or 420 high carbon. It does hold an edge very, very well. The serrations stay sharp. They actually cut things. They're not my favorite type of serrations, probably because I don't like serrations at all. But they are fairly easy to sharpen and keep sharp. I just don't like them. And there's that sound again. Listen. That's it rubbing so hard up against the handles, and I just cannot stand that. I don't know. You may like the knife, you may be crazy about it. You can find them with different colored rubber inlays, which is what's running down the length of the knife right there. You can find them in red, blue, green, whatever color you want to. You can find these pretty readily on that popular auction site that we all know about. If you check the forums, these come up for trade every now and then. I posted this one for trade on the forums a while back. Nobody seemed to want it. They're not very popular. If you do find one, it's probably floating around in somebody's toolbox because they just didn't like it, didn't see it as being good enough to carry, and just decided to let it float around in there for a while. Which may be what I do with this. It may not be. Don't really know yet. If you guys want to see me do something with this knife, let me know. I might do a giveaway or something. Hit me up online. This is Budget EDCer signing off.